Welcome again to the Aquatic Lifesaving channel. My name is Grace Joyce Kemgisa, and it's always a pleasure to host you and have you for another episode. Of course, Alan Kiza is going to be joining us, the drowning prevention activist and public health expert, to talk more about drowning prevention and water safety. I'd like to tell you that in a few days or weeks, we want to answer your questions. So please send them through. Our email address is below, or you can even comment below this episode. Ask us anything you want to know about water safety, drowning prevention, clean water, water pollution, everything and anything about water and staying alive on water. Please send through those questions. We want to answer your questions. So send them by phone, by email, by comments, DM us on our social media. We shall be happy to receive those questions, and in a week's time or two, we shall be answering those questions. Today we want to talk about the other side of water, the fun side of water. We know we've always been talking about drowning kills, water is this, water is what, but today we want to relax, bring the thing home. Talk about how we explore water in the different aspects through swimming, kayaking, rafting, fishing. The list is endless. And of course, we shall talk about the different aspects that come with these activities with Alan. So with me, join me, and let's welcome Alan Kiza. Again, most welcome. Always a pleasure to have you, because it's like another chance for us to learn, to understand, to know more about drowning prevention, water safety, and everything around water. So thank you for being here. And first of all, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and good to be here once again.
So we are also happy to have you, as I've said. And every day you be here scaring us. Amazigata, drowning is silent, drowning is what? Definitely we are going to talk more about that. But today I've told everyone we are talking fun. Everything fun and only fun. We are talking fun activities we do in water. So let's start with the fun. What are some of the fun activities we can do in the water, whether we are at home or kunyanja or in the swimming pool? What activities really?
Well, water is that fun element, let me say. But of course, in water, there is so much we can do with water. There is so much activities we can enjoy in water. And I guess, again, I know the most common one is swimming.
Yes.
Which is well known worldwide. It's that activity that engages so many people can easily relate with, because people get to do swimming for relaxation. People get to do swimming for health purposes, social interactions. And the availability of swimming pools, lakes, rivers, beaches, ponds allows for people to enjoy swimming. But in swimming alone, we have other activities that can be done. For example, this is still within swimming.
Yes.
Within swimming, other than the actual swimming where we get to swim the most common
swimming
strokes, which are freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, and maybe survival swimming, the other activities that people engage in are one, water polo.
Okay.
Water polo is a sport or a game where we play using our hands. You have
when
two
we are
teams.
in water?
Yes, inside the water. We have two teams, most of the time trading. It can be 7 aside, 5 aside, depending, and you have to play with the ball. You pass to each other until you score or shoot a goal into the opponent's net. It's a popular sport. Even here in Uganda, we do play it, and we have a national team that for water polo. But other than that, still within swimming, we've seen people that do volleyball inside the water. Yes, we've seen people play golf inside the water. But yeah, some of the most common, again, we have what we call artistic swimming, what most people call what is it called? Yeah, but artistic swimming is more of you see how they do the gymnastics and so forth? Yeah, so we have artistic swimming. Yes, what most people call synchronized swimming.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a common and popular sport in swimming. We have diving.
Where your head is down and the legs are
Yeah,
tantering.
some do that, some do it over the board,
Okay.
using a diving board. Yeah, so we have diving, which is also a popular sport still within swimming, and then we also have life-saving sports. Now in life-saving sports, you jump into the pool or you dive, you go rescue a mannequin, tow it to safety, run at the beach, and things of a kind. So those are some of the most common ones within
just swimming.
within just swimming. But
Okay.
but beyond that, of course, there are others like kayaking and canoeing. Now kayaking, of course, you're seated in a small boat. But again, when we're doing these events or these activities, we have to be cautious of our safety, because kayaking is done in open water. You're on a lake, you're in a river, in an ocean, and of course safety comes first.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you have your life jacket on.
Yeah.
It is fitting. Most kayakings are done. You sit alone in that kayak or that boat, and chances of it flipping over are equally high. So yes, you're basically exposed, and you want to be mindful of the dangers that could potentially happen when you're caught up in that kind of situation. Beyond that, we have boating.
Yeah.
Boating is another popular
Sport.
Luckily for some of us who went to, because I remember way back in school, back in college, because we were near the river, we were by the river, so we used to hold boating regattas, competitions, yes, for house competitions for boating. It was, a learning experience, a fun, something to engage into, and recreational. So yes, and most people use boating activities for so many reasons. Transportation, because again, we've seen students on different islands that travel from one island to another just to attend school. Here in Uganda, yes. So we use boating for transportation and so forth. So it's beyond just a fun element, but there are people who use it on a daily basis. We have the fishing communities that use it for livelihood, doing their fishing activities and so forth. But again, beyond that, we also have fishing. Fishing is another popular. Actually, I think fishing worldwide, is the most done activity worldwide.
Wow.
Yes, so many people engage in fishing. So I won't say sport. I meant activity, not sport. Yeah, it's one of the most done activity worldwide.
Wow.
So many people engage in fishing, one for fun, leisure, to waste time, as a sport, and so forth. Yeah, but again, with fishing also we have to be mindful, because some of the reasons why we have a lot of drowning rates, and our rates are looking at youth, it's because of fishing. We've seen young children leave school to go and fish to earn a living, and before you know it, they are putting their lives in risk, or they are at risk of drowning, especially those that fish in the night, because of course in the night is when you fish the silver fish. The silver fish, yes.
That's the mukene.
That is the mukene.
And the big tilapia?
That one you can fish during the day, but most people who fish mukene, it's in the night. That's why when you go to the lake, to the river in the night, you notice that it's a whole different city. They are on their small boats with candles and those small lights, torches, and so forth. Yeah, which is equally risky. Yes, but still, again, about water sports, other activities you can engage in. Water parks and slides for little ones, very common lately. I think we now have a couple of them where kids go and enjoy. Yes. The only challenge with those is that they get too crowded. They get too crowded, yes. And when they get too crowded, of course, there is minimal supervision, especially from parents, lifeguards, and so forth. And of course, the risks are high, so we need to be very vigilant while participating in those events, especially the young ones, because they are very prone to drowning. But we also have rafting.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so much we can do on water. There's rafting. It's also a common and popular sport. Here we don't have it so much, but yes, you find it in oceans where people are rafting. We have.
What about this where you go and the wave carries you? Is that skating?
No,
Skiing?
that is skiing.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
skiing. There is jet skiing.
Yeah.
There is jet skiing is where you sit on those
The thing and then go up.
the bikes and then you ski. Then there is also kite surfing.
Oh.
Yeah, where you just hold on to the kite and you ski or you surf. So there is so much
much.
activities that can be done. There is snorkeling and diving.
Yeah.
Of course, snorkeling not so popular here in Uganda, but yes, in the oceans, that is a very common sport where you have to go underwater, and most times you want to look at what is underneath the sea,
sea
like
and
the fish
everything.
and so forth. Yes. Again,
I've seen you
they
do
all
that.
come. Yeah, I mean, I've done it. It's quite an experience. The only challenge is, again, with that is that you're bound to run out of
Oxygen?
oxygen. The equipment might fail to work and you end up drowning. Of course, panic,
Yeah.
especially if it's the first time. And that's why when we're learning how to do snorkeling or scuba diving, you want to start in the pool and then go
Okay,
into
to
the
the
deeper
lake.
waters, into the
Yeah.
ocean and so forth. So there are so many, I mean, there's so many, I don't think we can exhaust them. There's
Isn't it?
paddle boating and so forth. And all these activities, of course, get to engage people,
Yeah.
to have fun, to enjoy beyond just the actual swimming that we are
in.
familiar with.
Okay, interesting. So you've heard there is fun in the water, but still there is fun in the water. I know there is fun in the water, but again, we need to have fun with caution. However, before we go to the caution part, why are these fun activities important for us? Or I would say, why is it important for us to make these activities in water or to explore the water in such ways?
Beyond just having the fun, these activities prepare us for fitness. Again, activities, they help us to improve our cardiovascular fitness, our strength and endurance, especially swimming. If you engage in swimming, of course, you notice that there are swimming is one of the activities that works the whole body. And for example, I'll give another example. There is minimal use of joints while you're swimming, unlike on land exercises. So, yeah, it helps us improve on our fitness levels, our mental well-being. If you're near water, there is a way it tends to reduce on your stress. It improves on your mood. So just sitting by the waters, feeling the breeze from Lake Victoria, just helps you, to get in that mood and feel that sense of, of relaxation, which is quite, something, and hopeful, and it's most times recommended by doctors. But again, what also helps us improve on our confidence. How? You've seen, I'll give again an example of scuba diving or parasailing. You're going to engage into an activity that is,
That is scary. And then
or bungee jumping,
Eh.
or bungee jumping. So you're going to go up on that rope and,
and then come down bouncing.
Exactly. So yeah, so it helps build on your confidence. In children, it helps build confidence when we teach them how to swim, how they engage into the practice. It builds that self-esteem in them. They learn how to take instructions because the repetitive instructions that are taken now and then. But again, there's also teamwork. Sport generally is all about teamwork. So if you're in a team, especially for children, you get to learn that. Activities like rafting encourage cooperation, so you get to work in teams. You know when to row, when to paddle, because you have to work as a team. So yeah, it helps encourage teamwork when you engage in such activities.
Even the children who swim.
And even the children who swim.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a relay team, you need to support each other, be there for each other, So yeah, and that's the beauty of, playing such a sport, because swimming in itself is an individual sport. But again, when you get to work as a team, you're working to achieve a certain goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and beyond that, we have tourism and of course the economy, where we have water tourism, which helps support livelihood and economies. And that said, again, I want to remind you that sometime next year, we're swimming across the Nile. So
tell
please,
them to come. But caution, experienced swimmers.
May next year, We're swimming across the Nile. Please come join us with a Swim Across the Nile challenge happening sometime in May.
But experienced swimmers, keyword, experienced swimmers. So this is the time for you to start your experience. So go on, please.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, that's it.
Okay. So anyway, the fun activities are there, and I love that beyond just watching the water and swimming, there are a lot of ways we can explore water. However, the danger of drowning does not go away. With these fun activities, what are the drowning risks associated with them, and how can we probably avoid them?
Yeah, much as we have fun around water, the danger of drowning is still not eliminated. Just to remind us again, in Uganda, the death toll is still at 3,000 to 3,500 annually. That is 8 to 9 people that drown every day. So that means that yes, drowning still remains significant, a significant public health concern, and we need to be cautioned that even when we are having these expeditions, we need to be cautious, we need to be careful, and we need to keep watch, especially especially when it comes to children. We need to be very vigilant. Last time we said, if you think someone is watching, then no one is watching.
Yes.
That means we all have to play a role in supervision so that we eliminate drowning.
So going back to these different activities, kayaking, what are the risks involved probably in a couple of them, and how serious is it?
Of course, risk number one is not being able to swim. Of course, if you're not able to swim, then your chances of drowning are high. What is bound to happen is that in case you fall in, can you survive? Especially if you, especially if you cannot save yourself. If that boat tripped, if you're seated on that kayak, on that canoe, and it flipped, how can you save yourself out of that? So yes, the number one layer of protection again is learning basic survival swimming. Because remember, being around water does not take away the fact that it's not dangerous.
Okay.
But it's the measures that we want to take that will help us stay afloat.
Okay.
So if you cannot swim, then chances are high that you might drown. So you want to prevent yourself from those. Two, before you engage in these activities, we want to take caution. Overconfidence sometimes leads to...
Kidding.
You know, because why are you too confident into something you're unfamiliar with? And that's why it's important for us to go, when you go into such activities, you want to learn. Take advice from the instructors, get to learn, ask them, what do I have to do? Let them guide you into what you have to do, other than you jumping in and before you know it, you find yourself drowning. Because of course we talked about lack of swimming skills, which is one of the potential hazards. Then we've talked about overconfidence. Then there is poor supervision. Poor supervision, where we take children to water parks and then you leave them in the, you trust the lifeguard to watch over them. Remember again, we say they are usually overcrowded. So sometimes you're going to lose visual of the children you're watching over. But again, it's our responsibility to make sure that we keep eyes. We always say, keep your children in arm's reach.
Your reach,
Yes, so that in case of anything, you are quick and fast to give a helping hand. Yes, and then another challenge again could be the use of alcohol.
Yeah, okay.
How
you go to do these fun activities.
Yes, alcohol tends to affect judgment.
Yeah.
There will be a slow reaction time in case of an emergency. So when you feel like you should be swimming, the reaction time is delayed because the brain and the body, are not reacting at the same time. And that way you find yourself in a situation where you're either going to drown involuntarily, not that you cannot swim, because this will also happen to able swimmers, Okay. And before you know it, you find yourself drowning. But again, we also have weather conditions. And something about weather conditions, and I think this has happened to me. It happened again way back in college in Namasagali when we took a school boat. It was at about 5:45 coming to 6. So we used to do it. I mean, where we'd take a school boat, go to a different island to just eat mangoes.
Mangoes?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Just to school boat to go eat mangoes?
Oh yes, oh yes. So one day we take this school boat that one evening. We go to the island safely. We didn't have oars.
Okay.
We could swim, but we didn't have oars. So we'd usually break the seat and use it as an oar. But remember, it's quite big.
Yeah.
You know? So, and we were going downstream. Now, when we go to the island, we were able to pick the mangoes, but on our way back, actually before we even set off, it started raining.
Oh.
There was a heavy storm. We struggled getting back to school. Actually, one person knew that we had actually left school to go, you know, wherever we had gone.
To go
and
mangoes.
so what happened is a strong wave, a strong current would come and hit the boat, and it would push us about 5 to 10 meters back from where we are coming from.
You've moved and then you go back.
Exactly. Remember, we have no oar. And so it would hit the water, the boat, moves 5 to 10 meters backward, and part of it would actually enter the boat. Now, we had to fetch out the water that is in the boat.
And then do
at
that.
the same time struggle through. And now, some of us had to jump in and start pulling the boat. We struggled. I think we arrived school at about 7 something. Yeah, 7:15 around there. We actually failed to dock at school, that we ended up docking at Namasagari University because it was near. And we left the school boat there, and I remember the only person that knew that we had actually left, a gentleman called Medi. We used to call him Mwamo. So Mwamo knew we had left a school. So he went and phoned the security guard. They brought us some oars. We were able to paddle until we got to the university where we left the boat. So yes, weather.
But did the mangoes survive?
Weather can be so unpredictable with the strong currents, and it can easily put you in danger. Then the other thing could be the use of life jackets in situations, scenarios, yes, or water-saving equipment. And where you don't have these, of course, in case of anything, then you might fail to save yourself. You know, because you want to have a life jacket, it should be fitting for you to be able to, you know, to be safe on such waters. And then maybe lastly is trying unfamiliar activities. Unfamiliar activities. We're looking at activities like rafting or diving without instruction. So you come from nowhere and you see someone trying out an unfamiliar activity and you say,
so I think
I can also do that. And before you know it...
I've met a swimmer who, they come, train, I think like 3 days into their training, they're like, hey, I can enter that deep end. And they dive head first.
Exactly. So, yeah, trying out unfamiliar activities. I know there's someone that is training. You see someone, there's a common video of Tendo in the water trying to work out with a weight. So he goes down, he lifts the weight, and then he pushes himself up and down. All these are unfamiliar. We've talked about rafting. Yes. You want to try out kayaking. You want to do scuba diving. You've ideally never tried it out. And before you know it, you're endangering yourself. So when we engage in such activities, you want to learn by taking instructions. Be guided on how to do it. Like I said, when you go for scuba diving classes, you don't start in the ocean or the lake. No,
you start in
the pool. They teach you simple basics. How do you use an oxygen tank? How do you enter in the water with an oxygen tank? Because the entries equally matter. Just because you have a scuba tank, it does not mean that you're just going to jump in or take a dive. No.
Okay, so now you've heard, guys, let us be careful. And just building on that, many people expect drowning to be loud, that they expect to see it coming and then quetasa, for lack of better word, that they are hopeful that we shall see this. But we've seen that drowning is silent. What are the things people miss? Especially those in those fun activities. But even as we do that, let's talk about parents. Signs parents ignore completely. They may be at the pool or somewhere and say, oh, I'm watching my child, but what are the things they ignore? But let's start with the people doing these activities. What are those signs people miss or ignore?
Oh, some of the signs that people ignore, of course, the warning signs, because for every activity that you engage in or every facility you're going to, there will always be a warning sign, a cautious sign, or rules and regulations that govern that place. And the moment you miss them, then you're bound to either make a mistake or drown. But for any person that is drowning, some of the signs that you can, you see, drowning has changed. Because it is silent, there are certain things you're going to... See, back in the day, we used to teach, a couple of years ago, we used to teach drowning, and we would go into initial apnea, where under initial apnea, we would look at a victim who would call, struggle, shout for help, with the head above the water.
We expect.
But now that has changed. Drowning is silent. It can happen in just 1 minute without you noticing that someone is ideally drowning. And some of the signs that would tell that someone is drowning, one, when you look at a victim, when the mouth is, when the water is probably at the mouth level.
Okay.
Because remember, this person, now when someone is drowning, drowning is an asphyxia, or it's a blockage of the airway, this part here, blockage of the airway due to immersion or submersion of water or any liquid. Not necessarily water.
Liquid,
it could be water or any liquid, because we not only drown in water, you could drown in any liquid. And because that water enters into your mouth or your lungs, the airway is blocked.
Okay.
Now, some of the signs you want to look out for, anyone in the water, where the water is at the mouth level. That means they are deprived of breathing, and that's why they can't shout for help. Remember, we've been lied to or deceived by movies where we see people shouting and calling for help.
Help me.
Exactly. Now, that is not the case. Drowning is silent, very silent. Because now, that help me, you won't hear it. Because instead of me opening my mouth to call for help, I would rather keep it closed. So that I can continue breathing. Because if I open my mouth, then water is going to
come in.
Exactly. So those are some of the signs we want to look out for. Actually, even before the water goes into your mouth, you'll notice that some victims have their heads down low.
Oh.
Yes, the head will definitely drop. Now, you see that someone is struggling to keep the head above the water. That is a sign that someone is in distress or someone needs help. Beyond that, we could be gasping. You see someone gasping for air, that means they are uncomfortable and they need help. And the moment you observe or see a person in that kind of situation, your mind should tell you that this person is in need of help. Extend something so that you can help them out of that situation. 4 would be if you found a swimmer in a vertical position. Vertical position, just like lying there. They could be lying face down or even up. Because up, probably they've already drowned. You know, so you would, if you find such a victim.
Also, anyone vertical, chances are likely they are not drowning.
They could be drowning because
anyone horizontal, chances are
not really per se. But again, just try to look out signs, because when someone is in a vertical position, especially if they are not moving, then chances are high they are in distress and they need to help. Another sign you would look out for is minimal kicking, because ideally if someone is swimming, their legs should be kicking. Now, if you notice someone is not kicking, then probably they need help. Now, this is equally very common to very good swimmers. Very good swimmers are prone to shallow water blackouts. Now, yes, under shallow water, the cause of shallow water blackout is hyperventilation.
Okay.
Where someone goes into, it's done by swimmers who want to do underwater phases, or who want to swim underwater for a very long period of time.
Okay.
They do laps and laps underwater. Now they tend to hyperventilate. Hyperventilating is then you hold your breath and then you take a jump or a dive. Now, that way you've tampered with your normal breathing pattern. Now, the moment you go into the water, because the normal breathing pattern has been tampered with, the brain starts sending the wrong signals. Now, before you know it, the body just shuts down. and you just find yourself drowning involuntarily. Now, that kind of victim who was swimming probably underwater, let me give an example. They've done, let's say, 425s. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th, you notice there is no movement.
Oh.
Someone is underwater, but they are not moving. They are in one spot.
Place, yeah.
They're not breaking the surface. They're not going deep down on the floor, but they are just there. So that's one of an example of minimal kicking and probably shallow water blackouts. And then another one maybe we can look out for is the sudden silence.
Okay.
You've been watching over kids, and then all of a sudden
they are not talking.
They go quiet. That is a sign that probably they've submerged, or probably they are in distress and they need help. Because if you're in an environment where kids are making noises and shouting this and that, and then all of a sudden they keep quiet, then again you know that something is just not right, and you need to come in and help them as soon as possible. Yeah.
Okay, now it's still on the children. Parents can be watching their children, really their eyes on their children. I'll tell a story. Recently, a friend of mine told me they went to somewhere in, I won't say that place, lest they know I'm talking about them. But they went with 3 kids, a 7-year-old, a 9 and 8-year-old, then one who is about 4-3 there. So they went in the kids pool, and this 9 and 8, they were able to maneuver in the water. They don't know how to swim, but they were able to just play in the water. So the younger one followed them, and then the younger one just sat in the water. And before they knew it, she was grasping for air. But the parents were looking at her because they thought she was playing the same mimics like the other guys. So as a parent, how vigilant should I be? What should I watch?
I think, one, as a parent, teachers, coaches, siblings, lifeguards, beach guards, for anyone that is watching over kids near water, the few things we've talked about above there are very critical. One, they might seem so basic to understand, but we have children playing with buckets at home, buckets that are filled with water, you know? Now, you have a child playing at home, there's a bucket of water somewhere, but you know, my child is playing, probably making noises, but all of a sudden they go silent. That is a wake-up call for you to check on the child, to make sure that they are fine. Okay? The other thing is, again, these signs, we could have not exhausted them, but these are the simple or the most basic ones, because we said for a person drowning, they are deprived of air, what we call of breathing, what we call apnea. Now, because they're deprived of breathing, and that's why we say drowning is silent, water is going to enter their mouth, water is going to enter their nose. So the communication will be minimal. It will be limited, you know. So for anyone watching over kids, and that's why we say we have to keep visual on our children at all times, as long as they are near water bodies. Anything beyond that, because any slight turn, you turn away for a moment, that's a drowning. Yeah, and you know, drowning happens so fast.
Yeah.
In just 1 minute, you have a drowning victim. So we have to keep visual, look out for those signs, water on mouth level. You want to make sure that they've not submerged, their heads above the water, they can communicate. You keep checking on them, but most importantly, they should be in arm's reach.
Oh yeah.
Because they are children, especially those that are not in a professional training program. Yes.
Talk about the teachers that take these kids to swimming facilities. We probably 2-3 teachers taking like 30 kids. You've seen those arrangements,
oh yes.
How do we keep, and I'm leading into keeping these kids safe. The danger is there, but we also started with water can be fun. Yeah. So we want the kids to experience this fun. How do we make it safe? But even as we go there, I'm an adult. I also want to enjoy water. How do I cautiously enjoy the water? But let's start with the children.
One, ratios do matter a lot, and this is one thing that most teachers miss out. Surprisingly, when they get back to school, they are very vigilant with the ratios when they are dividing classes. they are vigilant with ratios. And with swimming, they tend to miss out that part. They tend to neglect that part. Now, this is a two-way scenario. The facility that is hosting these children and the school that has taken the children for swimming. Because one, the facility is expected to have what we call a swimming pool safety manual. Now that the swimming pool safety manual will tell you that our pool is 20 by 25. That safety manual will tell you that our deep waters are 2.3 and our shallow waters are 1.3. That safety manual will also indicate that, okay, we have a thermometer for temperature. The manual will also tell you that our ratios here of lifeguard to bathers is this. Okay. Now that is for the facility owners. When it comes back to school, ratios in class still matter. If we're looking at children, especially in, let me say beginners or non-swimmers, so let me give an example. Children, what age group? Let me give an example of 5 and under. You have children 5 and under. Why would you have one teacher attending to 15 children? Because the ratio here matters. Yes. It should be at least 8 to 1. Oh, yeah. Non-swimmers, 8 to 1. Able swimmers, 10 to 1. Because that way, you know, you can easily manage, you can easily supervise. You can easily, you can even teach them well and easily. How are you going to teach 15, 25-year-olds, one coach, one teacher? Impossible. Because while you're demonstrating, someone is dropping the head down. While you're hopping another one is dropping down, sliding off, and all this. So we need to be cautious with ratios. And I really hope schools learn from this. One, we start with swimming pool safety manuals. Okay. And then we go into, of course, the standardization of wanting to understand the ratios before we think of taking these children for swimming. And for those that do school trips, it is equally important to do the risk assessment before you go. You want to go and see the facility. Is it safe for our kids to go and swim? If it's by the open waters, lakes, rivers, they have to cross. Is the service provider offering life jackets? Do they fit? Are they neat? And all those things. Okay. Yeah. Now let's talk about water parks where children are. How do we keep them safe? How do we stay safe in a crowded, especially over the weekends? I think during the week, the kids are not many, but over the weekend, it's a den of everyone. Den may be a strong word, but it's a collection of everyone. I think, one, it goes back to you as a parent. These are things we tend to ignore. When we go to these water parks, you want to leave the responsibility to the lifeguards. For starters, you don't know how many lifeguards are in that facility, one. Yeah. Two, you don't know how many people are in that swimming pool. Okay. And there is a lot of hidden dangers in between, because there are toys, there are, you know, a lot of things, there are slides and so forth. And before you think of that lifeguard watching over your child, why would you want to take your child to a water park and keep your visual off them? Okay. Supervision starts with you. Before you start trusting the life, yes, the lifeguard is trained to do that. That's their job. But it's your responsibility to keep watch of your own child before you trust the other lifeguard. You have a lifeguard that is watching over 30 other swimmers. And then you're also trusting them with your own. Why don't we need to learn to be vigilant and keep eyes on our own. So that way we can easily rule out these accidents and these dangers. And that's why we say our children must be in arm's reach. While they are playing, be there, be present, be near. Don't give the responsibility to someone else to take care of your child. First of all, we take children who we know. For example, we've seen parents who take children who have seizures, who have asthma, what other condition, who are epileptic, into these facilities. Now you turn away, you probably didn't even tell the lifeguard on duty that this child is epileptic. And before you know it, you have a child that is convulsing inside the pool. And these are unknown illnesses. So it is important for us to keep watch, to keep an eye on our children while Unless if they're in a sustainable program
Okay.
that is that has experience. By sustainable, I'm talking about swim clubs.
Okay.
Because with them, you know, they have professional
Coaches,
professional programs who are
lifeguards.
continuously watching over these athletes as they swim. And the athletes are equally conditioned for that, unlike for beginner setups. Because even in competitive clubs, when we're teaching the swimmers, we begin with basic, simple survival swimming, yes. Yeah.
As we bring this to a wind down, first of all, how do we respond to a drowning person, a person in distress? What's the quickest response to them? But also, when we respond, what's the aftermath? Because when you respond, that's it. How do we handle the aftermath?
Okay. One, there are a few steps that you can take in case you notice that a swimmer is in distress. And for you, especially if you're not trained in search and rescue, or in first aid, or in, what's the word? Helping a victim out of the water, the number one thing you want to do is call for help. Call for help. When you call for help, probably the lifeguard will come to you. They are trained. Or if you place the call, probably you've alerted emergency services who will equally come to you. Of course, step two, before you even think of, oh, by the way, the one thing you don't want to do is enter the water. You can only enter the water if you are trained in contact rescue. If you are not, then we will end up having two victims. So what do you want to do? One, call for help. After calling for help, throw a flotational aid. By flotational aid, we are talking about a rope, a jerrycan, a life ring, a life-saving tube. All these things are usually around the pools. Or a pole. You hold onto that pole. Don't even stand. When you hold onto that pole, kneel down on your knee or lie down so that you push all your weight down. Then extend it to the person you're trying to help, and then tow them or pull them to safety. If you help them while standing, then they can easily pull you into the water as well. Yes, so
you have to be inclined.
Exactly. So you have to be inclined. Probably kneel down on one knee so that you push all the weight down. That in case this person is pulling, because remember, they are panicking. When they hold onto something, they want to hold and pull. So if you push all this weight down, it will help you to push all the weight down so that you can easily help this person without any staggering movements. Or if not, if you're two, one person can hold you from behind. They come hold you, and then you to support you, then you pull. If you have a life-saving ring, if you have a life-saving buoy, the same thing. The other thing you can do is the reaching assist, where you reach with a hand, but again you have to lie down. Because if you stand, then this person can easily pull you, especially if they are heavier than you. They will pull you into the water, and then we'll end up having two victims. The third step, again, of course, remember we said we want to avoid unsafe rescue, where you don't get to go into, you don't want to go into the water because you'll become the second victim. Now, after we've rescued this person, the fourth step would be CPR. Are you trained in CPR? Because if the victim is unconscious and is unconscious and not breathing, then you want to commence CPR right away. If they are conscious and breathing, then you can put them into a recovery position. If they are unconscious and not breathing, you go into CPR. CPR is cardiopulmonary resuscitation to restart the heart, to bring it back to life. The moment it has ceased pumping blood to the rest of the body. Exactly. And if you follow through, and that's why it's important for all of us to learn these simple, basic things like CPR. Not only for swimming purposes, but as a simple, basic first aid that we can use at home. That in case something happens to your child in the night, how do you help them? How do you bring them back to life? How do you resuscitate them? How do you even check the pulse? Can you check for the carotid pulse and see that they have a heart rate in them? Can you check and see? Usually when we're checking for pulse, we use two fingers, opposite side. That is if you're doing it on yourself. And you want to listen out and see if there is a, any response. So after going through CPR, of course, for victims, that have taken in any water in their body or in their lungs, we recommend that they go to hospital to be managed by hospital until they are declared drowning free.
Okay.
Yes, drowning free. Why? We've seen victims that drown in the pool, rescued, but then when they go back home, they re-drown again in the night while they sleep. They re-drown again in the night while they sleep. So the hospital will rule out drowning after 72 hours.
Okay.
So it is for anyone watching us out there, if you ever help someone out of the water and you notice they've probably taken in some water, they have to go to hospital, be managed for 3 days until drowning is ruled out. Of course, the fifth step after CPR is you seek medical care. Now, for someone who has taken in water, you want to follow through those simple guidelines. And of course, also fill in a report, what we call an incident report. Because this help professional medical personnel to handle the victim better. For example, how did you find them? I found them in this kind of position, blah, blah. You narrate everything. Now they take this report and use it while attending to the victim. So some of the most important things to reach out here, if you have to help someone, 1, reach, don't enter the water. 2, throw anything that is floatable. If they can hold on to it, throw it to them so they can hold on to it, throw them to safety. 3, using any rescue equipment. It does not necessarily have to be a flotational device. Yeah, it could be a shirt where you just put off your shirt, your towel, you roll it, extend it to the person if they are nearby, and just put them to safety. And then, of course, CPR, understanding how to do CPR and putting the victim into recovery position to keep the airway open and to make sure that the victim is alive and in good hands.
Well, I think you have said it all. Let's land this plane. What are the things Chicho Sibidi Dabantu?
What I would say is water is fun. We all enjoy being around water. However, it is, I think, important for us to also understand that drowning is real. But the good news is drowning is preventable if we all do one thing to prevent drowning. And we need to spread the gospel, sensitize as many people as we can, learn how to swim, learn the simple basic first aid. Let me call it aquatic first aid or aquatic CPR, because this is water related. I think that can help us save a life.
And the parents, coaches and teachers, speak to them.
For coaches, teachers, parents, please supervise your own children. Don't leave children in the hands of the lifeguards. Yes, they are trained to do that, but I think it's paramount that you take the lead in supervising your own children. Coaches, ratios do matter a lot, especially when you're working with school children, when you're working with non-swimmers. Ratios do matter a lot. When you're working with big groups, you know, accidents are bound to happen.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alan. It's always a pleasure to have you. I will not add anything on that. Please listen to the expert. Thank you so much for watching the Aquatic Life-Saving channel. Remember to like, to share this content, to subscribe, to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any episode. Better still, reach out to us, send us a comment, send us your emails on the email below, call us, DM us on our social media pages, or better still, come here, let us be with you and partner with us. Remember to stay alive and to stay afloat.